Hello teachers, leaders, and families. I wanted to share one more strategy with my book. So, as you have probably found out by now, there's a lot of ways how you can teach this tool. And some of you have asked how to teach it in one setting versus breaking the book up into 3 parts. It is possible to read it in one setting, and so this would be my recommendation, because this is what I do for like the author visits if I come to a school for one day. So you can still look at the teacher's guide and follow some of those different strategies and that are within those lessons, and pull the ones that you want to make sure you embed when you do the reading. So you would read as usual to this page, and I normally at this point do invite students to trace their hand, to kind of break it up a bit and to pull them into the book. You could tell them that they will have this at the end and you're going to see how they remember, but I normally do have them trace their hand, or you can even have them do the air trace to get them moving at that part of the book, because you want them to still stay engaged. Then you would continue reading, and when you get to this page, what you will do is read the questions. You can have them repeat back to you and let them know that the acronym is there, and you can make the connection to the strategies. Do not use this page to do an example. I've tried that before and it doesn't work that way as well. So when they read this question and it asks, how are my body, breath, emotions, and thoughts in this moment? You can ask them, wait, what does that sound like? What we've already learned. Being a mindful superhero, our mindfulness tool. Environment, do I need to make a change in my environment? Oh, we've learned to look for things that pop. Affirmation, that's what we learned together for our superhero self-talk. So you are putting together all the pieces for them and asking them like what they can make the connection with. And then response and transform, those are 2 different ones, but they speak for themselves. So response, then you're like, well, that just means we have to take action. We have to do it. It's great that we have health, environment, and affirmation, but if we don't take action on that, it really doesn't matter. And then afterward, we see how we transform. You can also refer back to the mindful movement video, because when I lead us in the beginning, just before we do our practice, we check in with our heart. So even in that moment, you can see how the steps connect together and even how quickly that can move. And it can even go quicker than that. Then also, after you're done with this and making the connection, go watch the video of myself with one of my students, Diana, and that way they can see the steps. And at the end it goes, now it's your turn. And that's basically based off of this page. So then you come back to the book, read that, and then it's the let's try it. So either if before you've read this story, you can pull what circle question makes sense for you, but maybe you do the circle question asking, when could we use our superhero powers? When would we need to make great choices? And so that way you already have a list of when you might need to try it. Or maybe at this point you pause and do a brainstorm list of, well, when could we try it? And you write down their ideas so that you have concrete examples. Then you go through the steps just so that they know how it works, and now they've seen it in action in a video. Now you're going to do it as a class. And so whatever topic you choose, I normally like to do a test because that's very simple and we've all taken tests and that's a common experience. And so health, how are my body, breath, emotions, and thoughts? If I were to be imagining them taking a test right now, I might be feeling nervous. I know that my body maybe feels tense. My heart rate might be changing, right? Environment, well, do I need to make a change in my environment before this test? Well, do I have all the different materials? Is my Chromebook charged? Do I need scratch paper? Do I need a pencil, my water bottle? Do I need to go to the bathroom before the test? How can I use my environment to help me, and what pops for myself even, right? So you would go through pops with them there. Affirmation, what directly matches? Maybe it's, I am brilliant and I'm ready to show my knowledge, or I am ready to take this test and give it all I've got. Like something that directly matches. And you're like, okay, now we're going to pretend to take that test. Maybe you even pretend to give them paper and take a test, or they can imagine, or even fishbowl, and they can see some students act it out. So that's the response. And then transform. So they pretend to turn in the paper, the test, and then you're like, okay, well, now that we followed our heart and we did all those different steps, how was the test taking experience different than if we didn't do it, if we didn't follow and use our heart superpower? So that one is pretty easy to do. And then let's say you have a couple of students that, you know, at the end maybe like didn't participate. You can kind of exaggerate this and go, wait, well, do not turn this page yet. Follow any messages that your heart shared with you and take charge of your superpower. Take action. So I should stand corrected here. So you can have that discussion here, or when you're wanting to reflect, you would wait until they take that action, and this page walks through that thought process of how to reflect. So you have options again. And then the invitation here to log the superpowers for the week. You can turn that into a journal. I'm not sure if I shared this in another video, so I wanted to make sure you can make multiple copies. You can create a superpower journal in general. You can give that as a gift, you know, even getting little journals from the dollar store, just so that it's something special for them. And then you would just continue to the end of the story. So you can do this in one sitting as well. So you can choose what makes sense for your class and your situation and environment or family or skill group. And then, as I've mentioned, the last few pages, so starting from here to the end, these few pages here, this is what turns into a social story, so that in the moment you could just have this even in like your calming space. You can pull it out, they can go to that section and read it and do all of the different steps so that they make a great superhero choice. All right, so hopefully that's helpful as you continue to teach the strategy. And as always, the butterfly within me sees, honors, and values the butterfly within you. Bye for now, superheroes and supporters. Thank you for all that you do and all who you are.